Hi, and welcome to playgamesarefun.com. So we're going to make the Harrier Paper Aeroplane, and it's quite easy to do. A few tricky parts. I might need help from mum and dad, or the person looking after you at the time, older brother, older sister. You know the guys. And all you need really to do it is the instructions, which are on the site, and the sheet of A4 paper. And what all you do, you begin by folding the paper over lengthways and try and match up the edges where my finger is running up and down at the moment, as best you can. Don't worry if it's not perfect, it doesn't need to be, just needs to be as good as you can make it, really. Worth taking a bit of time to get this right. Once you've done that, you make the crease on the other side, as you can see, and you should have more or less a nice line running down the middle. Bring one of the corners over so it meets that line, and make a nice smooth crease again on this edge and this edge. Do the same with the other side. They should meet roughly in the middle. Again, it doesn't have to be super accurate, but as long as it's roughly the same, that's good. As you can see, you've got a shape a bit like a house, and you've got your two flaps. Then all you do, you bring it over so that it looks now like an envelope. And there's the point, as no doubt you can see. And that needs to be in the middle. That needs to be where the center fold is that you made earlier. Smooth out the edge, so you're left with a shape like that. Now then what you do is you bring this edge over the corner again so that it meets the center edge in the middle. Now this bit is where it can get a little bit tricky, so don't worry too much. If it takes you a little while to get it right, it's worth it. And you do the same with the other corner, and you should end up with something that looks like this. And you should also end up with a small triangle at the bottom, which is good because this little triangle holds the whole plane together. So you then push this forwards so that it makes the plane stay together. So you end up with one big triangle and one small triangle, both pointing that way. Then fold the plane in half this way so that your triangle stays on the outside. Try and ensure that the wingtips are level when you do this, like so, and you should end up with a shape looking something on these lines. Again, it doesn't matter if it's not 100% accurate, as long as it looks something like this, you should get a good working paper Harrier that will be able to fly and do all sorts of tricks. Now for the next section, you fold it from the tip here. So you hold this down and you fold this over so that this edge and this edge are level and straight and meet. And this should give you an interesting wing shape with this flap, which is a kind of funky, don't you think? So with your funky flap, you then flick the plane over, so you're on that side, and when you do the same with this wing, again folding from the tip at the front of the plane, what you're looking for is a good match on the wing shapes, so they're even. This is actually more important than this edge and this edge matching, as you will see in a moment. Again, this can be a little bit tricky, but once you've got that, you should end up with a cool looking plane. And there you have it, the paper Harrier. And she should fly like a dream.